You were not born to obey, you were born to become. But this truth has been buried under centuries of dogma, covered with sacred masks, hidden behind laws that are not yours. They taught you to kneel, to ask permission to exist, living according to a pre-written script. They told you what is good, what is bad, who you can be and how far you can go. But the map they gave you was a maze with no exit, built to keep you lost. Behind every rule there was a seal, behind every authority an ancient fear. But there is a law older than the laws, more powerful than thrones, quieter than the temples. A law not written in stone, but engraved in the flesh of the soul. A voice that says, you don't have to follow, you must remember. And when you finally hear that voice, everything else dissolves. In that silence another path arises, one that does not lead to a God, but to yourself. And that road has always been there. He was just waiting for you to wake up. In the heart of the desert, where the sands hold secrets older than the stars, a voice made itself heard. It was not a human whisper, but an echo out of time, a message engraved between worlds. No prophet, no altar. Just a shadow bending towards a hawk statue, and a silence that explodes like fire in the mind. At that moment, a portal opened. For 3 days, always at the same time, words were dictated by an invisible source. No inspiration. No automatism. Every sentence was a blade, every symbol a code. Thus was born the Book of the Law, a manuscript that did not ask for adoration, but for breaking. He did not come to convert, but to disintegrate. His only law was this: do what thou wilt shall be the whole law. A formula that does not promise salvation, but awakening. And for those who have ears to hear, that call is still alive. It vibrates, like a forgotten frequency. And whoever hears it, can no longer go back. For centuries they have taught you that law is punishment, that will is sin, that desire must be bent. They have given you commandments carved in stone, imposed by a jealous God, surrounded by fire and condemnation. But the true law does not imprison, it reveals. It does not judge, it ignites. There is a sacred path within you, a trajectory engraved in your blood that no one has the right to trace for you. It is what the guardians call the true will, not a desire, not an obsession, but a celestial direction that only you can follow. And if you dare to listen to it, every bond dissolves. But be careful, following the true will is not indulging, it is resurrecting. It is answering a call that comes from the heart of the universe, and this is precisely what the systems fear, because those who know their own way do not kneel, do not bend, do not allow themselves to be shaped, they become, and in their becoming, they shatter every throne that lives by obedience. Do what you will shall be the whole law. 7 words, 7 keys. Those who understand them shake the foundations of the world. It is not freedom by whim, but freedom by destiny. It is not chaos, but profound order, inscribed in the constellations and in the marrow. Those who feared them, distorted them. They painted them as an invitation to anarchy, to perdition, to blind selfishness. But the lie is a prison made of mirrors, and the reflection they show you is never yours. True will is not impulse, it is a navigation route. It is the invisible skeleton of your existence. What silently pushes you where you were born to go, and to find it, you must strip yourself of inherited fears, of imposed morals, of expectations that have been sewn onto you like a shirt of thorns. Only in this way do you remain naked before your purpose, and in that nakedness, alchemy happens, your life truly begins. They taught you to wait for signs, permissions, blessings, but true guidance doesn't come from outside. It lights up inside. It doesn't speak loudly. It burns. And when you follow it, the world shouts at you, because those who get up, those who refuse the script written by others, become a danger. That's why they buried that law. That's why they demonized those who dared to pronounce it. They did not fear man, they feared what he was awakening. For the true law does not ask you to kneel. It reveals to you that you are already sacred. And when a soul understands this, it can no longer be bent, it can no longer be reduced to a spectator, it becomes an architect. But he who builds himself is a threat to every empire built on fear. That is why true knowledge was hidden. That is why shadows and secrets exists, to bring her back to light. But will, by itself, is a sword without a hilt. It must be guided, not by fear, not by duty, but by something larger, love, not the domesticated kind, not the kind that extinguishes, not the kind that asks you to sacrifice yourself to be worthy. Love beneath will. This is the secret that turns every teaching on its head, not an emotion, but a cosmic force, a current that does not possess, but liberates. When love follows will, harmony is born, like planets in orbit, like stars that do not collide. Every bond, every action, every choice harmonizes with the invisible symphony of your destiny. But if you love without following your purpose, you break. If you desire but ignore your path, you lose your way. The universe does not want your sacrifice, it wants your truth. Only in this way does love stop being a chain and become fire. Everything that distances you from yourself is poison disguised as security. Loves that drain, jobs that extinguish, voices that ask you to reduce yourself to be accepted. But you were not born to adapt, you were born to radiate. Following your true will means daring a sacred solitude, a path that no one can show you. There are no maps, only signs, intuitions, scars, yet every step brings you back to yourself. And while the world whispers to you to fall into line, something inside you screams to explode. The system wants order, but you are creative chaos. The system wants uniformity, but you are a constellation. And if you accept this, if you stop making yourself small so as not to disturb, then you become what you have always been, and every chain, every rule, every lie, breaks. In the ancient book, 3 voices speak like stars in revolution. One is the infinity that embraces every possibility. One is the flame that burns in the center of your chest. The last is the storm that destroys what holds you prisoner. They are not gods to be worshipped, but forces to be embodied. Each whispers to you a part of your awakening. One shows you that you are vast beyond measure. One reminds you that truth is not read, it is lived. The other calls you to action, to disintegrate the cages you believe sacred, and together they give you back the forgotten power. No longer on your knees, no longer fleeing, but vertical, present, sovereign. Thelema is not theory, it is walking fire. And if you feel the call, shadows and Eckridge holds the keys, not to convince you, but to remind you who you are. You don't need a savior, you don't need a doctrine, you need the courage to remember that you were not born to survive, but to create, that the world wants you silent, but the universe wants you expanded. That your purpose is not an option, it is a call, and those who ignore it slowly fade away, calling it normality. But if you listen to it, if you honor it, every breath becomes a ritual. Every step becomes a portal. Every choice becomes magic. This is not a philosophy for those who seek validation. It is a path for those who are ready to burn the false self and rise again. The question is not whether all this is true. The question is, are you ready to live it? If you have felt something moving inside you, don't let it go away. Stay with us on Protocol 33, because what you are looking for is actually looking for you. That said, thank you and see you next time.